Shit, it's been a while. Oh, I guess we'll do a little psychology video here. I think it's just a white chocolate, like white vanilla, whatever, espresso. But no. So, we did celebrate Hollow Weekend. And that's what the psychology thing was going to be about. Basically, just partying and kind of work ethic and like finding a balance. So, obviously, seeing as the fact that I wasn't fucking recording anything, obviously I celebrated Hollow Weekend. Was it worth it? Absolutely fucking not. I'm not gonna lie. I literally wasn't even having fun. Like, basically, the whole time that I was there, I was just fucking thinking. I was like, damn, this sucks. I could be making videos for this shit. I could be researching trading. I could be fucking get rid of this shit quick. But no, I was basically just the whole time, I was like thinking of shit I could be doing short form, this, second business, research and trading. That's literally all I was thinking about, and the fact that, shit, I'm not going to be able to do that the rest of the night because I'm not in the right state of mind. And then I actually posted a trade recap. I like deleted it today because I watched it back. I didn't post it, but I just like recorded it. Um, yeah, that's never seeing the fucking light of day. Holy shit. Just know, we basically, we made like 1200. I explained it. I'm just gonna ditch that entire trade recap for that day, to be honest, because it was good, but I already recorded it twice, and I'm gonna be honest, I just really don't want to record that shit again, especially like with that in the back of my head playing the fucking shitty one I made, so no. So I guess that comes down to, it's like I've said this before, I don't know if I said it exactly to y'all. Like, it's okay to party and shit, but only party if you A, have something to celebrate, or B, you're like literally so tired from working that you need to like shut your brain off. Because, oh my gosh, just trust me, I'm about to flip this shit low key because it's starting to piss me off. That's better. But no, as I was saying, only party if you have something to celebrate or you actually need a break, bro, because holy shit, bro, like, how are you about to go party and not have fun? Like, the whole point of partying is to have fun. So, how are you about to party and just be thinking about what you should be doing working, but you can't work right now because of prior decisions? So, I don't know. No matter what, I would say save it for celebrating or after you like do your work and you literally need a break, but never if you're in the middle of doing something or you have stuff going on and you're not like set, definitely just don't do it because like there was a difference back when I was like celebrating milestones with my business and shit on the weekend when I'm like done working for the week. There's a difference between that compared to when I'm doing this shit and I haven't made a dime from this yet. Like, I haven't grown nearly enough progress or anything on this endeavor. Like, sure, I'm doing good at trading, but I'm still actively in this endeavor, and I haven't matured it enough to even turn a profit yet. So why am I celebrating when I know that something inside of me is going to constantly be wanting to work on this and make this better? Like, you know what I mean? Because then you just inhibit your process and your progress, and then you just can't get any more. So I've got to say, I don't think I'll ever celebrate Halloween Weekend again, to be quite honest, because there's really no point. I mean, there was just really no point. All it feels like is a wasted weekend, and I'm low-key ashamed that out of this weekend, like, cool, I went to the gym consistently. That's all the positive side. Can't trade on the weekend, so I didn't do any of that. Didn't work on any of this shit. Well, I tried, but fucked that up. And just how I'd treat y'all and be like direct and honest with y'all, that's how I'm being with myself right now. Like it was honestly a waste of a weekend. Um, just and it's my fault. I realistically probably should have just been thinking about this shit instead, but no. So that's a big thing, I guess, is just like know when to taper down and chill out and know when to lock in, like know when to do your shit. Like if you're in the middle of this shit, don't fucking celebrate this shit. That's like graduation parties. I'll never understand that shit. Like, cool, bro. You celebrated graduating high school. Maybe wait to fucking celebrate until after you've secured a job or you have your future planned or something like that. Like, know when to celebrate and know when it's just gonna stall your progress. Because I haven't been preaching this shit directly to y'all, but I've been saying this shit to other people for so long, and it's just like, don't celebrate too early. Like, don't fucking don't celebrate if it's gonna stall your progress, and it's that simple. Me and my dad have had talks about this too all the time and shit, and it's like, why? If you're in the middle of doing something good and you're just starting to do good with it, why would you celebrate that and set yourself back a few days and then risk stalling your progress or losing it all? Like, why would you risk that when you could just keep making it bigger? And then when you get to an actual point where it's acceptable to stall, then do it and take your actual break and then go with it. Like with my business, why would I say I saw potential to make like, and this is just demo numbers. Say I saw potential to make 10 grand a week and I just made 1,000 a week. Why would I celebrate that? If I hit 10 grand a week, then hell yeah, bro, celebrate. Which I'm going to be honest, I never touched that much from the business. That's like, especially like less than a year into it, or less than 3 months into a business, that's just unrealistic, if we're going to be honest. Obviously, I'm sure some people that are smarter than me would do it, but no. So, yeah, if you stayed in and researched and we're getting better at trading, maybe doing something else to make money, I have a fuck ton of respect for you. Because I didn't even do that. So you're already doing better than me in that aspect. The difference is now that I learned my lesson once, it's not going to happen again. So can you say that? Can you say that you'll make one mistake and never make that same mistake again? And you should be able to. I'm not trying to criticize anyone here. I'm just saying, like, that's really what it takes to be successful. You have to, because you're realistically going to make mistakes. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, especially this one with me, it was bound to happen. It's kind of that overconfidence concept. But you got to learn from it. Like, yeah, you're always going to make mistakes. You know how many mistakes I've made in business? Fucking school, life, whatever. But the difference is, I think there's only one mistake that I've repeated multiple times, and I won't say that one, but the difference is you have to be able to make that mistake and then never make that shit again. So, like with this, with me partying too soon, whatever, I will never do this shit again because I know the feeling I felt. Like if you're trading and you lose 2 bands off of trading news, you'll probably never trade news again. You know, if you're like fucking, I guess that's a better one for this. I guess we'll just split this up into two. We'll upload one, but it'll just be learning from mistakes, and in turn it'll also be know when to celebrate. But no, I mean, you have to learn from your mistakes. That's a big thing. Like in business, I made so many mistakes, but the reason why my business was still successful is after every single mistake, I didn't just never make the mistake again. I literally would go in ChatGPT, research, be like, how do I never make this mistake again? How do I come back from this mistake? And then I use a plan to do it. And then not only are you never making the mistake again, you're actually coming out. Say you went in making this much a week, and then you make the mistake and then you're down here. You come out of that mistake, whatever, if it takes a few days, maybe a few weeks, making this much, like coming up this much. So that's a big thing. If you can just every mistake is actually an opportunity if you can use it to your advantage, because a mistake is a sign that you slipped up somewhere. So obviously, the smaller the mistake, the better, because the lower the divot, and the high most of the time is going to be the same. So, you know, if you fucking, I don't know, it's a good example for this. Like, say you quote someone an absurdly low price, you're better off as soon as you get done quoting that price, like in business, this is a real example, you're better off telling them, hey, I didn't realize that we were going to have to do this, whatever, this is probably going to make the price go up. Or if you're like in the job, you're going to be like, hey, this estimate was pretty off. Whatever, say you already put like $500 of your own money in, be like, hey, we're already in this much. The estimate was really inaccurate. I'm completely sorry. It's completely my fault. And if you want, no cost to you, I'll pack everything up, get it squared away, and we'll just quit right now. Or if you want to keep going, it will be more. And then you tell them something like that. And that's actually a big lesson that I learned really early into it. Luckily, it was very nice people I was working with. Very understanding, and the mistake wasn't something insane. Like, it wasn't any high amount of money. But since I learned that mistake, and I made that mistake once, I corrected it that one time. Me and those people have an amazing relationship. I talk to them outside of working, like, all the time. And I've never made that mistake for another customer. So that's a big thing, is learning from it. Like, it's that concept that whatever... Actually, no, we won't use that for an example, the other thing I was thinking of. But no, it's just that concept that you learn from your mistakes and you come out a better person and you never make them again. So, like, you know how many times I've traded on this shit and I've traded against trend and then bled money, or say I've been, because this one actually drained a lot of money. Back when I was trading this London Sweep Asia concept, I would get in off a micro BOS, not an actual swing high or swing low, and then I'd bleed money. So then I never did it again. And that one, I'll be honest, that one probably made that mistake like 2 or 3 times, so more than once. But if I'm losing 10K off of something compared to like losing 3 or 5K, it's probably going to be ingrained deep off my mind. So now I don't even trade that strategy anymore. And I'm like crucial on that. And I'm a very patient trader now because I lost that much that early on. And I saw like how bad it could be. So now with a whole new strategy, not even touching that strategy, I still follow that concept because, once again, it is how market moves. It's not like some strategy. But now, like, because of how severe that loss was, it's ingrained in my head not to do that ever again. So that's a big thing. You have to learn from your mistakes, try not to repeat them as often as you can, and then also learn from them to come up better. And that's really, like, that's a big thing. When you make a mistake, 3 things can happen, at least in my opinion. You let it bury you down and you keep making that mistake and you inevitably fail, because that's how failure happens. You keep making the same mistake multiple times. But all it takes is correcting that mistake once to go back up. But no, that can happen. The middle ground is you recover from that mistake and then you just keep making it. So, like, think of like a ranging market, like just high, low, high, low, high, low. 4, actually, we'll do 4. Maybe you correct that mistake, but you don't come better, so then you're just gradually going up, like linear. Or you correct that mistake, come up better, and then you never make it again. Then all of a sudden, fucking big leagues here, exponentially, we're going up. It doesn't look that way, because it's inverted, but you get the picture. What's this text about? Oh, so I got a text 3 minutes ago, and then a question mark text 2 minutes ago. So am I probably going to answer that? No. That's crazy. But no. So it's a big thing. And that's really just pretty much the conclusion here. Know when to party. Know when to not be overconfident. have the mindset where you can be partying and be upset that you're not pursuing your goals and feel bad about it. And then just know when you've made a mistake, know that you need to correct it ASAP and you cannot make it again. Y'all have a good one.